You are all weirdos.
Weird science is the revolution. Weird science is the revolution.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Weird Science Comics YouTube channel, where I'm going to be reviewing Adventures of Superman Jon Kent #3, written by Tom Taylor with art by Clayton Henry. I'm not enjoying the Adventures of Superman Jon Kent much at all. Now, it's not because of Jon's sexuality, and it's not about him being aged up. Well, it's actually a bit about that, but it has nothing to do with the debate of whether or not that should have happened or if it should be quote-unquote fixed. No, why I'm not into the 6-issue miniseries is because we are now halfway through it, and it's obvious that Tom Taylor has punked the shit out of me. We'll get into that in a second after I ask you to subscribe to the channel, like the video, enable the notifications, and let me know what you think of Adventures of Superman Jon Kent #3 in the comments below. Now, when the Jon Kent series was canceled and this miniseries was announced, I was pretty pumped. I was pumped because every press release was touting that this would be the 6 issues where we would finally get to see Jon Kent confront Ultraman, the man who stole 7 years from him. Yeah, I know it was kind of Bendis that did it, but in universe, it's Ultraman who did it. And I have been tossed around in this debate of whether Jon should be de-aged or not. But I'm guessing that even those who want 10-year-old Jon back would at least want to see Ultraman get a bit of a beatdown for what he had done. I thought we'd get actually even more than just that. Since Jon has returned aged up, we really haven't seen any ill effects of him being tortured by an evil doppelganger of his own father in an active volcano for 7 whole years. The most we've gotten is a bullshit moment where Jon told Nightwing he thought he'd be the one that would come and save him. He's not mad at Dick Grayson for not doing it. He just thought that he'd be the one to save him. Really? Your dad's Superman, but you thought Dick Grayson would travel the multiverse to get to Earth 3 and fight off the crime syndicate, including Ultraman, to save you, all because he once gave you a lollipop when you were younger. I mean, that whole deal, bullshit. But seriously, though, after 7 years of utter hell, Jon came back better than ever. The fact that he has a 5th grade education hasn't hurt him one bit, and he has shown little to no signs of any mental health problems at all. I know that Tom Taylor wants Jon to inspire people, and he really has. He's inspired me to find an active volcano and a doppelganger of my father who has 7 years to spare to make me the best version of Jimmy I can be. I want to be that. So, 3 issues in, we finally get to see the raw emotions of Jon Kent confronting his abuser and... Oh, wait a minute. That's not what this series is all about. It's actually about Jon visiting the Injustice universe and finding out his father's a fascist dictator. I mean, what the crap? What is going on? So 3 issues into a 6-issue mini, we head up to the Injustice universe where we have to spend an entire issue getting people up to speed. That's all this issue is. By the end, Jon starts to realize that everything isn't so kosher, and we will have to wait and see what happens next. But there's really the review of this issue. Nothing happens except Jon flies around the Injustice universe and sees, oh my God, this isn't quite what I thought it was. Well, there's also a throwaway line that shows that the Ultraman stuff was never, ever more than an afterthought. The Injustice Lex Luthor says that Ultraman, he was probably killing Kal-Els in the multiverse because he was kind of sick and tired of getting beaten up by them. That's it. Ultraman out. That whole thing pushed aside completely. So why is this happening? We'll have to wait and see, obviously, but I'm guessing it's because Tom Taylor can't stand that he has a fascist dictator Superman on his resume, even though it made complete sense in the story. And he's going to use now Jon to either redeem that Superman, which again is yet another bad doppelganger of his father, or save the entire Injustice world from him because Jon's so great. I actually expect a Luke Vader scene by the end with Injustice Superman just lying there saying, "You were right, Jon. You were right." I guess he can't really say, "Tell your sister." He doesn't have a sister, but maybe we'll get one. So really, it's not Injustice Superman that Tom Taylor seems to want to redeem. I think Tom Taylor is here to redeem Tom Taylor for no reason whatsoever. That Injustice story that he ended up doing and seems to be getting a lot of flack for, oh, you created evil Superman. No, he didn't. And the story worked. It wasn't just a story about an evil Superman. It wasn't even just a story about one bad day that can turn to. There was a progression that really was like each step of the way where Superman might be able to pull back and might have pulled back, but Batman was a dick at that point. Or Wonder Woman was whispering something in his ear. It was a more complicated story than anybody seems to give it credit for anymore, especially because it was a Elseworlds tie-in to a video game. But there you go. I don't know about you, but I wanted to see John work on his own issues here, not be used as a tool to get people off of Tom Taylor's back on Twitter. Now, I like the art in the issue, but I don't know who this issue really is for. The people who already had read Injustice can skip this issue completely and miss nothing at all. And people who hated Injustice are probably not reading it anyway. Everyone else will get a nice-looking issue with zero plot progression. It is pretty much a walking tour of the Injustice universe, and it has to be surface level because we don't have enough time. And that's a big problem with this whole thing. This is a 6-issue mini. You don't have time to switch up your story halfway through to get something that isn't what was on the marquee to begin with. And that's the problem. People who end up coming into this are going to be hit in the head, still wondering what happened to the Ultraman story they signed up for. That's how I am. I'm actually infuriated by it. I think that this is nonsense and should never have happened. And really, Tom Taylor is to blame. Editorial, everybody. I don't know why you want to backdoor your way into this Injustice nonsense. A story, again, that I really did like. But because of all that, I'm giving Adventures of Superman John Kent #3 a 4 out of 10. And that is pretty much 99.9% for art. Clayton Henry does a pretty darn good job. But overall, I don't know why we're even dealing with this stuff when the big thing in universe that really affects John Kent himself was Ultraman. Not finding out about Injustice Superman. That is just a side deal. Do that on your own. Go and do that. Make some but it already feels like fan fiction, so whatever. But yeah, now I'm going to get out of here before I get too angry. But thanks, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this. And if you do like the story and you are intrigued by what's going to go on in the Injustice universe, let me know. We'll talk about it. It's no argument. Everybody can like what they want. So seriously, let me know either way. Also, it'd be nice if you subscribe if you already haven't. And there you go. I'm out of here. I'll talk to you all later. See ya.
You are all weirdos.
Weird science is the revolution. Weird science is the revolution.